Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. All praise due Allah Azza wa Jalla. And we ask He send His peace and His blessings upon our Master Muhammad. Dear Muslims, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam describes our community, or describes the believers in a hadith where he says that a believer to another believer are like the parts of a building, and these parts reinforce each other. And in this hadith and narration, it is said that he clasps his fingers as such. And the believer to another believer are the parts of a building that reinforce each other and support each other as such. And he uses his fingers to illustrate this image he's describing. I want us to consider our ummah, to consider us as a community in this way, as this hadith describes. And I always think about the structure of a masjid, for example. Think about the masjid, the walls that it has to protect the congregants, the various facilities, the offices, the restrooms, the kitchen, the upstairs, the downstairs, the parking lot. All of this coming together to build and offer the community a harmonious community center dedicated to Allah Azza wa Jal. It is established fi sabilillah, for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, and it is the Qibla facing Mecca. This is the orientation of the house of worship of the masjid. So think of yourselves, O Muslims, in this way. Think of yourselves like this structure of the masjid. And your orientation, your Qibla is to Allah Azza wa Jal. And we should always have taqwa in Allah. Always remember Allah at all times. Even in difficulty and in darkness, we remember Allah. But when we come together as a community, like these bricks that support each other and build an infrastructure, we can really do amazing things. Now think about the masjid. It offers so many different unique services and programs and facilities for young people, for all people. We can all benefit from the masjid, alhamdulillah, right? It is a beacon of hope and light for communities. And it is, inshallah, we build and continue to build more throughout the state and throughout the country, alhamdulillah. And then we improve in the masajid and build different institutions that are adjacent to the masjid. For example, if you look in the Muslim world, especially in Turkey, you'll see this example very clearly. A lot of the masajid that were built by the sultans, it was built adjacent to other facilities. There was the masjid, of course, which was the center of attention, where we conduct the prayers and everything is done in the masjid. But then there is a soup kitchen, and then there is a hospital, and then there is a madrasa. All of these institutions are catering to the needs of the people, and their objective is to uplift society. The masjid caters to the soul, and all of the other institutions cater to the mind and the needs of the body. This is Muslim society at its finest. And alhamdulillah, American Muslims are doing just that here in our state. We're doing an amazing job, alhamdulillah. It takes time as we build the foundation, right? And so the CARES work is very similar in this way. It is a unique institution that is offering civil rights defense. What does that mean? When a physician called our office last year and said, I'm being forced to resign or they may terminate me, can you help me? Why are they forcing you to resign? What have you done that's so egregious that they want you to leave? For 10 years, this woman worked at the hospital here in New Jersey. Did she assault a nurse? Did she assault a patient? Did she commit some egregious crime? No. She posted on Facebook about Palestine. And it is because of that post that Zionist physicians in that hospital tried to get her to be terminated. We intervened and were able to save her job. Alhamdulillah. But she is one story of many teachers, physicians, students, and so many who in the past 2 years have been facing oppression at the hands of the Zionist regime. What else are we doing at CARE? The media work. How important is it to engage with reporters and journalists, to tell your story, our perspective, our narrative, to push back against the discrimination, the stereotypes, and the wrongful narrative that demonizes you, demonizes and vilifies Islam. Our job is to be there with the reporters to communicate the truth. And then finally, our work in advocacy. You see, we are an institution that is dedicated to monitoring Islamophobia and oppression around the clock, around the year. We don't stop. Every day in and day out, we are checking where do our elected officials stand on various issues. And now, more recently, brothers and sisters, we are all in shock in terms of what is happening in this moment. Our government is suffocating under a chokehold by the Zionist regime. AIPAC and Israel continue to press our politicians to commit genocide and now are dragging our nation into an endless war with Iran. And yet here we are as Americans, citizens or residents, no matter what status you have. Alhamdulillah, you are here in this country and you benefit from the resources and the privileges of this nation. We have an obligation to stand up in this moment. We have an obligation to champion justice in this moment and to work with our allies to combat the oppression, to address our politicians, those who are silently standing behind letting Trump do what he's doing, and some of them emboldening him and encouraging him to do more. We must call this out. CARE is doing this work around the clock, day in and day out. When I'm not here speaking to you, I'm working with my team in the office here in Newark to make sure these services continue, to protect our community, to fight for justice. When we come together as a community united, we can be a strong foundation, a beacon of hope and light. Brothers and sisters, I'll conclude with this, inshallah, my time is limited. Besides my work at CARE, CARE is my full-time job with my team, alhamdulillah, and I love this work. Fi sabilillah, we do what we can to help the American Muslim community. But on the side, I also teach as an adjunct professor at a local university here in New Jersey. And I'll tell you this, brothers and sisters, I teach world religions. There are 6 religions that I teach in this university course. In this course, inshallah, I cover all of the major religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And I will tell you this, brothers and sisters, we don't need validation from non-Muslims, but it's good to know a little bit of what they're thinking. These students are so genuinely eager to get to the unit on Islam. They ask about questions about Islam throughout the semester because they want to know more about this faith that you and I practice. They have genuine curiosity, genuine respect and reverence for this faith and for our community. This is quite enlightening. You see people coming to the masjid and ready to proclaim the kalima of La ilaha illallah. Every week it's happening across the state, across the country. So culturally and even spiritually, many people are yearning for purpose, and Islam offers them this. Do we recognize the value of this religion as Muslims, or are we just going through it mindlessly? Let us rethink the significance of this faith and remember that it solves the many problems that society is going through. And it has the power to revolutionize not only the soul of a person, but society more broadly. So let's invest in the future of Islam and Muslims here in America. Let's make sure Muslims are at the front lines defending justice and championing the kalima of La ilaha illallah here in America. let us be the ones to solve America's many, many troubles, many, many problems. I'll end with this quick story. It was a success story, alhamdulillah, that just came to our office very recently. So there has been a bill in New Jersey that has been trying to silence your free speech. What do I mean by that? There is a bill called the Anti-Semitism Bill, which, and you probably already know where this is going, trying to define anti-Semitism and equate it to anti-Zionism and criticism of Israel. Now, if this bill were to have passed, it would silence the rights of students and really everybody from criticizing Israel. Government agencies could use it to criminalize your speech and your activity. Universities could use it to punish students. Even employers could use it and say, hey, look, the state of New Jersey defines anti-Semitism in this way. I'm going to take action against you. As an employer, I have to uphold the law. We, alhamdulillah, after fighting tooth and nail, meeting after meeting, lobby day after lobby day, protest after protest, email and phone call after email and phone call, we were able to defeat this bill in New Jersey, alhamdulillah. But let me tell you, not many states were as successful as us. In some states, this bill was adopted into legislation. And now their rights are being curtailed because of that Zionist bill. But alhamdulillah, our team was successful in stopping it. This is the work that you support. Let us stand firm as a building, strong like the masjid, offer these essential, unique services so we can continue to defend, educate, and empower the American Muslim community, inshallah. I would encourage you to visit our table before you leave today and give what you can through Zelle, PayPal, credit card, cash, etc., inshallah. And if you can't give tonight, make the niyyah, make the intention to give before the end of Ramadan. May Allah Azza wa Jal accept all of our zakat, all of our sadaqah, all of our ibadah, all that we do in His name, fi sabilillah, all of our prayers and our du'as throughout the holy month of Ramadan. And may Allah Azza wa Jal allow us to see throughout the month and through the month and live to see the day of Eid, inshallah, so we can celebrate our families and our loved ones. And may Allah Azza wa Jal alleviate any of the pains and the sufferings of the Muslims around the world and wipe every tear that is crying. Ya Allah, make things easy for them and grant them justice over their oppressors, Ya Rabbil Alameen. And may Allah Azza wa Jal use us at the front lines to defend and fight for justice. May He use us and not replace us. جزاك الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.